Great is Our God, Devotional Readings for Adults, written by Fernando Zabala, being read by DECHAWN'S. Day 25. Use what you have. Scripture passage comes to us from Judges chapter 3, verse 31. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who killed 600 men of the Philistines with an ox goad. And he also delivered Israel. When Shamgar left his home to herd his family's team of oxen, he never imagined the magnitude of the challenge he would face. That day, Anath's son engaged in an unevenly matched fight with the Philistines, and with only an ox goad. He struck down 600 enemies of God's people. A goad, according to Webster's New World Dictionary, is a sharp, pointed stick used in driving oxen. Who would think of facing an army with only a stick? Shamgar, that's who. His heroic action freed Israel from the oppressive yoke, and according to the Seventh-day Adventist Bible Dictionary, made the highways, which had been controlled by the Philistines, safer for the Hebrews to travel. The name of this unknown biblical character is barely mentioned in 2 verses, Judges chapter 3, verse 31, and chapter 5, verse 6. But what valuable lessons does he teach us? The first lesson that jumps out at us is the fact that when God called Shamgar to deliver his people, he was ready. He did not ask for any tests or signs, nor did he give any excuses to free himself from the responsibility. He did what he had to do, and in what a way. The second lesson is no less important. Shamgar used what he had at hand, an ox goad. And with it, he struck down 600 Philistines. As Matthew Henry pointed out, although it was an ordinary weapon, the ox goad achieved more with God's blessing than Goliath's sword did without God's blessing. I have no doubt at all that it was God's power that allowed Shamgar to attain such a great achievement that day. However, I also don't doubt that the power of God manifested itself in such a marvelous way in Israel that day, because he found in Shamgar a willing and fitting instrument. Can you imagine all that God could do if we were ready whenever he needed us? Can you imagine all the good things that would occur if, just like Shamgar, we lent a hand with the few or many resources God has placed in our hands? Let us stop complaining about what we don't have and start using the resources we do have through God's power for his honor and glory. Dear Lord, whether my talents are few or numerous, please teach me to use them today in a way that will glorify your name.